Welcome to the Merch Minds podcast, where we discuss everything about the Merch by Amazon business and the print-on-demand industry. Here are your hosts, Glen and Yong.
Welcome, everybody, to the Merch Minds podcast, episode number 9. My name is Glen with the YouTube channel Hustler Hacks, and my co-host, Yong.
Yo, yo.
And we have a special guest today. Can you tell them who it is, Yong?
Yeah, so today we're going to be interviewing Mike Peterson, also known as the Treasure Gnome on YouTube. And he's recently got into the whole merch game around the same time that I did, and he is crushing it. So we're going to pick his brain today and see what he's doing to really get these numbers.
Yes, sir. But we're going to start off the show like we normally do, talking about our sales for the month, where we're at, what's going on in the merch news. So Yong, this month, how's it been? How has it been since the whole purge of November, was it 13th, 15th?
Yeah, well, I know last week when you and I were on Margaret's channel, I had said that I was on pace to do about $1,200. That's still the case. I am on pace to do $1,200, but unfortunately, like you mentioned, because of the whole purge, I went from 500 shirts down to 300 shirts.
Oh, okay.
So that's so I need to re-upload a bunch of those shirts because I do know that they have potential. It's just a matter of really the right person to come along and just buying that shirt to make it to keep it on the Amazon servers. So I'm on pace to do 1,200. I'm doing really good as far as sales. I'm doing about anywhere between 8 to 10 shirts a day.
Nice.
Today's been really bad, and I don't know why. I think maybe it's because this is the day before Thanksgiving. A lot of people are traveling and whatnot.
Hey, don't blame any of this on Thanksgiving.
So I mean, last I checked, which was earlier this morning, I only had like 3 sales, which is kind of slow. But who knows? I mean, the day's not over yet, so we'll see. How you doing, man?
I'm doing pretty good. Like I saw like a huge jump when I guess like that purge happened. Something weird though with my account, like I went through my shirts, and then when I checked it, I guess when they first announced it, like I noticed a lot of my shirts that hadn't sold yet, they said pending removal, and then it had a certain amount of days left. And then now they just say pending removal, but like nothing has gotten deleted yet. So I still have the same amount of shirts live.
Interesting.
Yeah, and a lot of like the Halloween ones that didn't sell like are still on there.
Okay.
So I don't know, like.
So now, would you take those Halloween shirts down, or would you leave them on?
I would take them down. I mean, if they haven't sold yet, I would take them down and just try something new.
Okay. So you want to hear something weird, man? So yesterday I had a shirt. It said pending removal. And then someone came along and bought 4 of them. Okay, this was yesterday. So I'm thinking, oh, awesome. This shirt's going to be live. And when I checked this morning, because it was still pending removal, they removed it.
So what happens then?
So that means I have to re-upload the shirt and hope that someone buys that.
I'm thinking what happened is maybe they're not going to count it until it's actually shipped. So maybe like.
Maybe. I mean, who knows? I mean, that could be the case. But it was just funny how, again, one person had bought 4 shirts, and the shirt wasn't in pending removal, and then this morning that shirt was gone. So I don't know. I'm just saying. So we'll see. So that means if that is the case, I have to re-upload it and then hope that someone else comes along and buys it again.
Yeah.
Which sucks. If that's the case, that really does suck.
I guess we'll have to see what happens and see, I guess, where it goes from here. But at least you do have some extra space to kind of mess with now. I mean, not like you wanted to, but at least you
Yeah,
have some room.
yeah. Well, I think a bunch of them I'm going to re-upload, especially with Q4 upon us. And and I don't know if it's Q4 that's really driving these T-shirt sales lately. I mean,
Mhm.
I've already mentioned that how my numbers have jumped. Um,
Mhm.
but the thing is, I don't know if it's Q4 because none of them are really holiday themed shirts.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah,
don't,
I
I
don't know.
don't.
I don't know either. I mean, I barely even uploaded a couple of. No, I uploaded like 60 Christmas shirts like a couple of days ago.
Uh-huh.
That's gonna take some time to kind of like build up, but I haven't seen any sales from that yet. But I mean, who knows? And I think it has to be a mixture of both, the timing and I guess the whole purge of competition being removed.
Okay, so you think you're thinking because competition's gone. Uh,
And
oh,
and
I,
the and the,
okay,
and the Thanksgiving holiday, Christmas time. Like I think it's a mixture of both.
okay, okay. Yeah,
Because
because I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, because I saw like a huge jump in numbers. Because when we talked on the phone, I think like 3 weeks ago, I was telling you like, man, my numbers have dropped a lot, especially
Mm-hmm.
because I went on my honeymoon and I didn't upload any new designs. I really didn't work on any of that stuff for a good while,
Yeah.
and they were really on the decline. And then all of a sudden, around that time, which is already at least 10 days ago or so. Um, I've been selling at least like 30, 35. Some days where it was even like 60 shirt sale
Oh
days.
my gosh,
Like
man.
they really, really jumped. And like I said, I only added the 60 Christmas ones a couple of days ago, but like a whole month before that, I haven't uploaded anything new at all because of the whole, minor thing of getting married. So
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
yeah.
Minor thing of getting married. It's very minor, just whatever. It's just my wife. But
So
yeah,
all that came to play.
yeah. So and I'm finding that about 70% of my sales are all repeat sales. So 70%, so basically 70% of my shirts, I've sold multiple shirts of that design. And
Mhm.
then every now and then, someone will buy a new design that's never sold before. So and I wish right now it was really the other way around because I want my shirts to be live, man. I want them to be
Mhm.
up there. And for those of you guys that don't know what we're talking about, Amazon recently implemented a new policy saying that if your shirt doesn't sell within 60 days, they're going to pull that design from their servers. So, um, but yeah, but we'll see. Again, I have less shirts now, but the numbers are, I am selling more shirts. So.
Yeah. And did you get your estimated earnings for October?
I did. I thought it was going to be around 827,
Mhm.
but it dropped to 804.
Oh,
Um,
that's not bad at all.
not a huge drop, but yeah.
Yeah.
But
What was the September?
oh gosh, I can't remember, but I believe it was around 400. So basically,
Oh,
last
that's like
month, I
doubling up.
yeah, basically I doubled my numbers, um, and then again this month I'm on pace to do about 1,200. So I didn't quite double my numbers, but it's still significantly higher than last month.
Yeah. If you can add an extra $400 a month, I mean that's a good jump.
Hmm.
So
Absolutely.
that's almost what you're doing here. 400, 800, and then now 1,200.
Yeah.
Then you're almost there.
Yeah.
Just
So
keep adding that bad boy up.
yeah. Well, I'm trying to get to your numbers, man. 4K a month. That's my goal.
Yeah,
Well,
I mean,
I know you're doing more, but that's at least my goal. I want to do
oh
that
yeah. I
4K.
think I think even from this point on, if someone told me like, hey, don't add any more shirts, 4K a month for the rest of, not say the rest of my life because I don't know how long it would last. But if someone told me, 10 years, 8 years, 4 or 5,000 a month, I would definitely take that.
Oh, heck
I mean,
yeah.
that's just like, really good merch money right now that's been coming in. My gross earnings is like a little bit over 5,000, and they've been the same, I guess, like around the 5,000, or they've been over 5,000 for the last like 4 months. June and May were the highest I've ever done, which is like 6,100, and I haven't gotten back to those numbers, but one day I will surpass the 6,100.
6,100. I think at one point your goal was to do about 10K, right?
Yeah, my goal was to do about 10. I'm like halfway there.
Okay.
It's been consistent, which is good, but yeah, I need to get some marketing techniques to get these sales up to get to that 10K range.
And you know what? And that's a good segue into our interview today. As we mentioned earlier, we do have Mike Peterson, also known as a treasure gnome. We're going to interview him today, and he's going to talk about marketing, and he has a course on Udemy that he just released about how to market your shirts and designs. So we're going to get into that episode now. All right, guys. So we're on episode 9, and we have Mr. Mike Peterson, also known as Treasure Gnome. Is that correct?
That's correct. What's going on, guys?
Okay,
Hey.
Mike. Why don't you give us a quick introduction on who you are and where you're at as far as merch?
All right. Well, my name's Mike, AKA the Treasure Gnome, I like to say. I don't know where that came about, but it kind of stuck with me. I've been selling on Merch by Amazon and since I started in about March of 2016, and it was just kind of something I started without knowing what it was. I put a few shirts up and then kind of walked away and like forgot about it for probably a month or so. And we got the email that everybody waits for now, the remittance email. I saw that hit my inbox. So I'm like, what the heck is Amazon paying me for?
Yeah.
And so I saw it said Merch by Amazon. I was like, oh, I forgot about that. I went back in, logged in, and I was like, holy crap. I made $5. I didn't even do anything. So this is back when I was selling on eBay full time. So back then, just like getting money deposited in my bank account without doing any work, like this is the first time I've ever had that happen. So I'm like, oh, all right, let's fill up the 25 slots. And then as soon as I made my 25 first designs, I just kind of got this little addiction just from doing the designs, and the rest is history. Now I've doubled just about every month.
Wow, doubled every month. That's unreal.
Except for this month, I just plateaued out. So
okay.
And how are you doing this month? So we're in today's November 23rd. How have you been doing this month?
I just got the remittance email for the royalties, and the total is $5,058.
Nice.
Wait, hold on, man, because I'm just blown away. So
One second.
Wait a second, man. Now you're pissing me off. No, I'm just joking.
Oh no.
Because you started right around the time that I started. You started in March. Okay.
Yep.
You took about a month off. Okay. And like Glenn said, right now, as we're recording this, it's Thanksgiving Eve. It's Wednesday, November 23rd. And you're telling me your payout's going to be $5,000 and what?
$58.
Guys, if that doesn't tell you how powerful this platform is, man, I don't know what else to say. That is unreal.
Crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, the last couple of months, I've said it on my YouTube channel and even to my friends and family, I'm like, I don't really, I almost don't believe that it's happening. I don't know. Like, I feel like it was, I felt like it was too good to be true for a while because there wasn't really that much support. And then the forums came around a little stronger, and now that we're seeing more support over there, I feel, and like people getting banned for doing shady stuff. I'm starting to feel a little more confident about the platform. So
yeah. And Yong, that I do my research on our guests, and
yeah, man. Hey, watch out for Glenn, man, because he's like a private eye.
And so Mike actually did 4,900 for September. So
Okay, so you're constantly growing. So Mike, if you don't mind us asking, um, how many shirts do you have live as of now? And as the listeners know, if they're on merch, that there's been that whole purge and all that. So as of
Yep.
now, live shirts, how many do you have?
At this moment, I have 721 products live.
Oh my gosh.
I was just I lost about 280. I was just over 1,000. I removed about 20 on my own proactively because I wasn't quite sure where they fell in the. Let's not say trademark, because yeah, it'd be trade, not copyright, because trademark and copyright are different. But they weren't blatantly. They were just like kind of something that was on the edge, sports related. That I was. It kept me up one night thinking about, is this okay? So I just wiped them off. Better safe than sorry, because I'm really, I don't want to mess around with anything, even if it's
Of course.
not blatantly obvious.
Of course.
yeah. And I think that's what happens too when you start making, some of the bigger bucks. You're like, I'm not going to risk any small thing on here at all. I remember I had a couple of ideas that came up to mind too. Even a couple of other resellers that I talked to. I'm like, hey, what about this idea? Or try this. And I'm like, I'm not going to go anywhere near that stuff.
Yeah, because you have to realize, I mean, the opportunity that we're in right now with the merch platform, I mean, both you and Glenn are proof that you can make really good money, and I'm obviously working on my own shirts, but I'm trying to get to where you guys are at, and I'm slowly seeing the progress. And like you guys said, I don't want to risk my account at all. Mike, I don't know if you heard my story on episode 3 about how my account was suspended, and that just pretty much validates, man. Amazon doesn't mess around, dude. They'll when they suspend your account, they suspend your account.
Yeah, I heard about that. Yep.
Yeah. So
and I've said before publicly, like I've had a ton of rejections that just from carelessly uploading stuff with it's not like the design, it's a keyword or a phrase that you wouldn't think that was trademarked, that was. And I check when it's something that I am a lot better at checking that now, because I don't think the rejection, like I don't know what they look for, but I don't think the rejections count against you. It doesn't seem like it, unless you're being like really bad, like resubmitting. But definitely if you have something up there with a takedown and you get a compliance notice, like that's not like, I've had a few of those too, and every time I get that, I
know.
Yeah.
Like your heart stops.
I mean, but
you don't even know why.
Yeah.
You're like, what the heck? That's my design. Like, why is that happening?
Yeah, but every time, I mean, so I don't know if you noticed, Mike. Like every time, I mean, and this only happened like maybe 4 or 5 times. Like when my design gets rejected, and we get that email saying your design's been rejected, but it says right there in the email that if it happens too much, that they can and probably will suspend your account. So
yeah.
So I like I said, I get paranoid about things like that. So these days I'm like careful down to the T.
Yeah, especially because they don't define what too much is.
Exactly, right. It's very vague, right? I mean, I've reading in Facebook groups, I mean, some people said that they've had like up to 20 shirts or 20 designs rejected. So it's really, we don't know. I mean, we don't know where Amazon draws that line. So, so Mike, do you have, I think Glenn and I both know the answer to this. But as far as your background, do you have a design background?
No, I'm a rookie. I just kind of taught myself I'm teaching myself as I go along, and I'd like to think that I'm getting better, but I just make it a point that I use Adobe Illustrator now, and I use it every day, even on the weekends. Unless I don't have a computer, I get on there and I use it every day, and I just treat it like I've been treating it like a skill the last month and a half. Knowing that if I'm in there using that program, I can tell just by signing on that I'm more familiar and that I know how to do things in a second that I used to have to Google and go through a tutorial. So I'm slowly learning different aspects of it as I go.
Good.
But I have no artistic ability in the past. So.
Wow, that's really impressive.
And so let's see. Well, we talked a little bit about before Yong got on, so we can talk a little bit about merch and everything else. And you are a full-time reseller, correct?
Yes. Yep.
And I was looking at your numbers, for October, everything that's going on, and how has merch impacted your eBay and other businesses that you have going on, even with YouTube and everything? You said it got a little addicting, which I think it has been for everybody that really starts to get the ball rolling in merch. How has merch affected your business?
Big time. Definitely big time. I mean, obviously, I think even in my blog, I took the month of August. I think it was either July or August where I said, I like looking back at the stuff because I think I said, I'm going to focus all of my energy into merch because it's so successful right now for me to not feed it and try to grow that part of my business at this time. It feels wrong to just ignore it because I saw the growth opportunity. I saw 2-3 months where I doubled my income, and I was I think it's scaling. I prove that if I put more designs and I drive more traffic, I can scale this. So, yeah. And I realized I could be anywhere.
Yeah, exactly. And your eBay is pretty much like you said, I think on autopilot right now. Have you done any sourcing or anything in the last, I don't know how long, 2 or 3 months or?
No, I mean, I've been in thrift stores and stuff because I go in them and, I like doing it, but I passed up. No, I haven't purchased I've purchased zero inventory since July.
It's funny that you say that, Mike, because Glenn and I were talking about this a couple of weeks ago, and it's not something. Well, first of all, I think it's pretty fair to say that a lot of resellers are now doing merch, right, because of the whole business opportunity. But Glenn and I were talking, and we were saying the same thing. How this opportunity is so great, I'm kind of in the same boat as you, where I haven't really gone out and sourced a lot of products. It's not something that I want to quit because I think, as we all say, don't always put your eggs in one basket. So it's always good to diversify your income portfolio. But I mean, for the, and I do this part time. So for the amount of time that I put into it, and to see how much I've grown, it's just unreal. Right now I'm on pace to do about 1,200 this month.
That's good
compared to the 800 that I did last month. So, the numbers speak for themselves.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, we talked about just the whole tax thing too when me and Mike are talking right now, just not very much expenses going into this, if at all. So when you get your profits and stuff, it's just crazy. And yeah, to I think a lot of people, I think it is too good to be true, because I felt the same way with Mike. I was just there's no way. We'll see when I get these payouts. I was kind of skeptical first. Nah, we'll see when I get these payouts and see what happens. but it's almost been like a full year, since I've started to really like get serious about it and everything. So I don't know. I think it is going to be tough for a lot of the sellers that like get the ball going on this to like go back to sourcing like day in and day out.
Yeah, yeah. So Mike, so does that mean for Black Friday, are you going to go out and source?
No, I'm not gonna go out Black Friday. Period.
Okay. So you haven't gone to any thrift stores since July. You've obviously focused on your merch business, if that's what you want to call it, I guess. So now, where do you see yourself here in the near future? Because I mean, obviously your numbers are growing. I mean, what are your plans? I mean, and I'm not just talking your business, but your personal life. I mean, because obviously everything's going to change at some point, right?
A little bit, yeah. Like I'm definitely trying to like it opened my eyes for the fact that I could be, even outside of Merch by Amazon, I can create something that is in the reselling aspect where I can be more location independent. So I mean, I just booked a one-way trip to Thailand in February, so of affecting my life because I'm gonna go there and work for and upload shirts and travel for 30 days. So do I ever thought that I'd be doing that? 6 months ago, no, not like it's not something that I had in mind. But I left my job in May, and this is what I do full time. So things have kind of changed every month in the aspect of where I'm going, and I'm just kind of riding the wave.
Wow. So you bought yourself a one-way ticket to, I'm assuming it's Chiang Mai.
Oh, not to Bangkok.
Okay.
I'll be in Chiang Mai for a little bit, but I think I'm gonna hang out in the South Islands for most of the time.
Okay. Well, you're definitely gonna have a blast. I was in Thailand about 8-9 years ago, and had a blast. You'll definitely love it, man. You're gonna live like a king with those. You're gonna live like a king with those merch royalties, man.
Yeah.
So what I like about
a great opportunity, yeah.
What I like about having Mike on the show is that he has a little bit over 700 shirts. So what's different about our guest this time is a lot of the keywords and social media marketing. I haven't done any marketing on my side. I know Yong hasn't really done any on his side. Some of the guests that we talked to have done a little bit here and there, but Mike has really talked about not only YouTube and on his website, also has a course on Udemy right now, and goes into keywords and Facebook marketing, Instagram marketing. Out of the three, well, Pinterest, Instagram, Facebook, which one do you like the most and why?
I'm kind of at like a head-to-head with Pinterest and Instagram right now.
Okay.
Because they're both bringing me a lot of traffic. It's so hard. It's so hard to pick one. It all depends on how you utilize them. So on my organic marketing on Pinterest, where I lack. So when I drove traffic, I solely used Pinterest to drive to my Amazon listings. I would have like 20 pins of my shirts going at once that were all promoted. And they were driving like probably, at least 10 people a day to my Amazon listings.
Okay.
So that's how I tiered up so quickly, is by paying for traffic. And it wasn't expensive. I think to get 50 clicks, they call it a click. But to get 50 people to click through to each shirt, it would cost me about $5. So this was back then, and it all depends on what keywords you use. It gets super tricky, really, but once you get it down, you can drive traffic for relatively cheap over there. And what I saw happen was after I would get a sale from Pinterest, it would kind of be like a snowball effect on Amazon. Amazon would kind of realize that maybe it worked off the bestseller rating or something. But if I got a sale through driving traffic, I would start getting more sales even if I turned off the ads. So
Okay.
I'm assuming that maybe it was helping them get lifted up in the search results.
Yeah.
That was the best guess or hypothesis I could come up with that. But I don't know Amazon search algorithm. So
Okay.
and then yeah, we'll stop at Pinterest, and then I'll give a little about Instagram if you guys want. If you have any questions about Pinterest.
Yeah, I have a quick question. So, out of those 50 clicks, and maybe I missed it, but approximately how many people were actually buying a shirt? Do you know that?
It probably, I came probably like 3%.
Okay.
Not a lot.
Mhm.
You can use, if you use Amazon Associates, which is the Amazon affiliate program, it's free.
Uh-huh.
You can go to your listing and then get the affiliate link and then pin that. And then change the link. You have to change the link in Pinterest to the affiliate link. And then that's the only way I found that you can see if you're getting a conversion. So
okay,
you can see if it's selling through that link. I kind of track that.
And even then, for
September,
you still, and even then for September, you still made an extra like $42 for your affiliate links.
Oh yeah, actually no, I haven't ran any. The last 3 months is 0 driven paid traffic. So since August, I haven't paid it. I haven't paid a dime to drive traffic to Amazon in the last 3 months.
Oh, okay. Okay, and then
so the months previous I did.
Oh,
but now they're still these shirts are still performing.
Oh, okay, I get it. And with Pinterest, you also talked about on your website a little bit of like how to grow it. You have like top 10 tips. So you went up, I don't know what you are at now, but I think at the time you wrote it, you were at about like 6,000 followers or so.
Yep, and I actually have 2 accounts. I have 2 Pinterest accounts. I have 2 with about 6,000 followers.
Nice.
Okay, so now
the other one I don't release, but the Treasure Known one is completely public. I do post some shirts on that, but the other one is private.
Okay, so that was my next question. I was going to ask you: are those followers Treasure Known followers, or are they like the shirt followers, like they actually like the shirts?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then the other one is probably mostly people that are following me from my pins.
Okay. So tell us about Instagram.
Instagram is awesome. You can have multiple accounts. I don't know if you guys know this. You can have multiple accounts, and you can access them all from your phone. So you can do this from anywhere. It takes 5 minutes to probably research a good post. You can make, it's so hard to get into it, but what I use for everyone is Doug the Pug at Doug the Pug, I think is the Instagram account. But if you look at that, you should get a good idea real quick of what people are doing. They create audiences around something people are passionate about. The same thing you're doing with your merch shirts, and you can create a humongous following on Instagram. Thousands. I think I'm getting about 1.4K followers a week with the method I share in my course, and it's crazy. And then you have them. It's like an email list. Every day you post, you're in their memory because they see, your brand or your tag, and then I'm getting about 100 free clicks a week, 100 free visits a week off of an Instagram that has 2,500 followers.
Okay, so just out of curiosity, in your Instagram profile, do you have a URL to like your own store, your e-commerce store, or is it just like a link to your, I don't know, like your Amazon store?
Yeah, you want to link them to wherever you have your shirts. Like you can obviously do it to e-commerce store, but that would be one way of doing it, I guess. But I mean, if you're in merch, you want to probably direct them right to your brand. If you click on your brand, you can get an affiliate link with Amazon Associates again that has, so say you have pug shirts, make all your pug shirts that you want to market to that Instagram page under the same brand name, and then use that link that leads them to the brand name and the Instagram profile. And if it's an affiliate link, you can see if it's converting. Because if they click through there and you get a sale, you'll see it on your affiliate report, and it'll be attached to that link that you use in Instagram.
And then how many approximately conversions are you get from Instagram as far as people buying?
Probably about the same. When I divide it, it's 2 to 3%. So not huge, but enough. But you should see the weird stuff that sells affiliate link. I mean, you get in a little extra from that too, but that's of it. So.
And so what are you tiered up at right now? Like tiered up to
4,000. 4,000.
And would you say, I guess, talk about creating more shirts, like as many as possible, playing the numbers game versus keeping, let's say, 700 to 1,000 shirts and just marketing the hell out of them? Like, what would you choose? And what do you think's better?
I don't think that's, I mean, marketing I like because you know who you're sending to your listings and you're not relying on Amazon traffic, because I think that's more powerful. Definitely that's more powerful, because if you can do it and you can do it good, you're not going to lose. Like, you're never always going to have sales, because things have changed over the last 6 months in merch when we've been here. You guys have noticed it when it's like shirts weren't showing up in search results because they've changed the way thing. I think they even admitted that they were throttling listings in search results, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, if a buyer came and was looking for a shirt, you just wouldn't show up because Amazon was maybe over. We don't know why, but it was happening. But if you're sending them directly to your shirts, you're not gonna lose. Like, they're gonna find you every single time because those shirts are gonna be right where you left them.
Yeah.
Now, have you done any Facebook ads? I've done a Facebook ad once, and other than getting a bunch of likes, I don't think I've gotten any conversion at all.
I spent about $300 that went whoop, down the drain.
Yeah. Okay.
And I mean, I built a page up to about 1,000 likes, and it's just not for me. I don't. There's a lot more that goes into that, and I think without being able to use a pixel, I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with that.
We are.
A tracking pixel. I think that is going to be the key if they let you do something like that. But then still, it's just going to be really hard to market merch shirts with that, I think.
Okay. Yeah. Because like I said, I've gotten really poor results, from my experience. Yeah. So.
And I don't think it's impossible. I think that there's people out there that are killing it. Like I'm sure that there are, but it's just that's a whole nother ball game that I don't have it down yet.
Yeah. Yeah, of course.
It's a pay to play, right? I think that's the best way to put it.
That's a good term. Pay to play. That's a good term. So tell us about your course, man.
Yeah, I just launched, I think 5 or 6 days ago. I've had some good feedback so far. It seems like a lot of people that have taken it so far, thanks if anyone's listening, have left me some pretty good feedback. I think there's going to be some minor changes that I do in the future to make it better. But it goes over the things that I use on a daily basis to market my shirts for free and the tactics I use in the beginning with the paid traffic. So a lot of value for what it is. I firmly believe that, because I was skeptical of giving it away, but I like to help everybody. Everything else I do on my YouTube channel has always been free, and I want people to succeed. I think there's tons of room.
Yeah,
there's enough room for everybody.
Yeah, of course, but at the same time, you should also be paid for your time. So I'm glad that you created a course. Now and this will all be in the show notes. But your course is called what, and where can we get it at?
It's on Udemy, and what the heck is it called?
Oh my
Merch
God!
By Amazon. If it's called Merch by Amazon, how to research and market your t-shirts.
Okay, Glen.
So yeah, it actually goes over keyword research too, which is
okay. Glen, have you watched his course?
Yes, I have, and I left a review. So
you did. Okay,
yes,
saw that. Yeah.
So what did you learn? Tell us.
Well, I did learn quite a bit of like the marketing techniques that we talked about, kind of like, with Instagram and Pinterest. It's something that I do want to incorporate next year. And I think it's definitely something I'm going to have to, make into my goals when it comes to merch, because I have been doing the opposite end, which was, just doing the numbers game, creating as many shirts as I possibly can. But then again, as a graphic designer, I just love doing that. So I'm just like, I love doing t-shirts, designing for everything. And the marketing stuff isn't really like, my specialty, but it is something I do need to work on. And I think the course does cover that well, like in all three of those platforms that we talked about. But another one that he talks about is like niches. And this is important too, because I get a lot of people that they order shirts. I do like different package deals if people want shirts done, and they send me a lot of like original ideas that they kind of thought in their head that may not work necessarily. And I think it's good to you don't have to reinvent the wheel when it comes to a lot of these ideas. And he also, Mike talks a lot about searching where you can find some of these like ideas and trends. And what do you think about that, Mike? Am I kind of spot on comes to that?
Yeah, I give away a lot of good tactics. I call it inspiration. So
yeah.
I like that.
You should always, before you sit down, that's what I've learned. I mean, like I said, I'm not a designer, but I've talked to a lot and watched a lot of designers on YouTube, and one of the first things they say they do is go through, art galleries, or like whether it be DeviantArt or some of the other sites out there where you can scroll through images, and they'll start their day off by finding something that inspires them that they want to create, and then they'll make something similar.
Yeah. So I have to admit, man, I'm only halfway through your course, but but I promise to watch the rest. But yeah. I mean, from what I've seen so far, it's been really informative. There's a lot of information on there, and I can't wait to watch the rest, man.
Right on.
Yeah. So tell us about then. So you have no design background. You pretty much taught yourself Illustrator, again by watching, you said, YouTube videos.
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay, so
with GIMP, I think.
Ooh, that's our enemy. Ooh.
GIMP.
Yeah. Mine too.
All right. But so now, would you say that that a majority of your designs are text-based or graphic or equal combination of both?
Text. My early designs were all text, and I started incorporating like Glen, vector images, kind of like hand draw. I kind of try to do hand drawn stuff now with the brush tool and the. I just started using the pen tool on Adobe Illustrator, which is amazing. It's really amazing. Like I said, I'm learning every day, but it's probably 80% text, and then the rest have some sort of blend, of a design worked in there.
Cool. Glenn, you have any questions?
Yeah, can you talk? I guess what a lot of people have liked too is that on your channel, like designing, things live and giving away designs and stuff like that. How did that work out for you? And what kind of feedback have you gotten from that?
I've gotten awesome. It's fun because because I just have fun doing it, and I just interact with people and a design for the heck of it, because it kind of challenges me to do something that's in there. And it's been fun. The only feedback I've gotten is maybe my music is too loud sometimes. So I'm trying to find some new music that's not electronic that I can still run on YouTube without getting 100 copyright violations, because I've been streaming for like one to 2 hours sometimes.
That's funny. I actually stopped by during one of your little live streams. I couldn't stay too long, but I kind of poked my head in and said hi real quick.
Yep. I think the people that are in there are surprised by the designs that I've been doing, which it makes me wonder what some of the other people that are in merch are doing, because they're like, wow, I've never thought of keeping it this basic, basically. But I mean, yeah, we won't go too far into design, because I don't know. I just do what I think looks good and then throw it out.
Yeah. No, I mean, and Glenn and I said this, right? I mean, every now and then we get messages. I don't know about you, Glenn, but at least I do. I get messages, saying, "Hey, how do I do this in Illustrator?" And I tell people, your best resource is really the internet, because I mean, I'm not that great of a teacher. I mean, I can certainly try and sit down and explain how something works, but there are thousands and thousands of videos that can do a much better job teaching people how to use Illustrator than I can. And obviously, it worked out for you, because you're obviously putting out designs, and your numbers speak for themselves. So
for anyone that's listening that thinks that they can't do it, super scary for me to get into, because they put a pay barrier on it. And I guess if you're not a designer and that's there, my thought was, well, I have to pay for this program, and I don't know if I can use it. So I think what happened was, one day I got so sick of using GIMP and stretching text in an arc in the stupidest way. It's just.
Uh-oh. Did we lose him? Mike, are you there?
Am I still there?
Okay, you're there.
Oh, I was going on a rant about how much I dislike GIMP. I'm sorry, whoever created that, but
that's why you froze. GIMP wasn't too happy about that at all.
But yeah, once I took the jump, still when you have a question or you want to know how to do something, like hit YouTube up, and literally 2 to 5 minutes you're gonna have a tutorial, like 100 tutorials on how to get it done. So probably like 5 different ways. There's like 5 ways to do everything too. So
yeah, exactly. Everybody has their own way of doing things. But you did say something really, really important though, when you're talking about designing. It's just how simple a lot of the designs are. And I think a lot of people kind of forget about that too, that your design don't have to be detailed with a bunch of just random things or super detailed. I don't know. I get a lot of requests for some weird reason to do shirts with like detailed faces or humans or people talking or something. And I don't know. It's just like there's just no need for it. Like everything can be very, very simple bold, clean icons, vector art, like you said.
Uh-huh.
I mean, that's what's gonna sell, and really, really simple designs.
Well, and not just that. I mean, I'm just afraid of, and Glenn, you and I kind of talked about this. I'm just afraid of spending like 10 hours on one design, right? You know, making it like this crazy design. It's all elaborate, you know, and then when it's finally done, you know, I have it on Amazon, and then no one buys it. You know, I spent 10 hours on just one shirt, and then, you know, if no one buys it, man, you know, I wasted 10 hours of my time creating a shirt that no one bought.
Yeah.
5 minutes, man. 5 minutes.
Is it 5 minutes for you?
Yeah, man. If it's any longer than that, you scrap it.
Dude, man, hey, it takes me, see, and maybe it's because I'm a perfectionist. It takes me about 30 because even though mine's text-based, like you know, like the kerning has to be like perfect, you know, if something's out of place, man, it just bugs the crap out of me. So even if it's text-based, it takes me about 30 minutes for each design.
Yeah, I would say I spend like 5 to 10 on average. After that, I'm like, all right. I feel like I'm poking around, like really, because I know that it doesn't take more than that.
Mm-hmm.
But unless I'm doing something where I want it to be around like for a while,
Yeah.
which would be for my Shopify store, which is totally like I wouldn't even put that up on Amazon because I want it to live, like guarantee that's gonna live someplace for a while.
Okay. Wait, so you do have a Shopify store?
Yeah, I do.
And how's that working out for you?
It's doing pretty well. I'm not driving any paid traffic to it, so it's all from Instagram, and I've only been live for about a month now, and I've generated 5 sales.
Okay.
So yeah,
5 organic sales, no marketing. That's
organic sales.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good. And I agree too. I think with the 5 to 10 minute range, I think for design stuff, because I was cranking out like 100 designs a week, pretty much doing the same thing, trying to get that 5-10 minute range, just so I can move on to the next one. I guess just trying to get, you know, if I throw it up there, see what happens. I mean, really don't have anything to lose at this point, since you're not really doing anything else, but just adding as many shirts as possible.
Yeah, but you know what, man? Like I said, man, if something's out of place, man, it'll bug the crap out of me, and I would have to go in there and fix it. You know how many times I've uploaded a design and then like I see the kerning, and I'm like, oh, that just doesn't look right, and then I just delete the shirt and then I have to fix it and then re-upload it. It just bugs the crap out of me.
And then the 1-star review is like, man, the kerning on this shirt just
no, that never happened. That's never happened. So Mike, so you're obviously growing. Your numbers are growing. Have you considered possibly hiring like a VA, not to do your designs, but maybe to kind of handle some of the I don't know, the dashboard work? You know, like maybe doing some keyword research, maybe things like that. Have you ever considered doing something like that?
No. I mean, I enjoy doing it. It's something that I've realized I really enjoy doing it, and it doesn't take a lot of time at all.
It doesn't. It really doesn't.
I really bulk, like, I was gonna say bulk process, but I really just kind of dip in for like hours, like a 10-hour day or something like that. Sometimes like whenever I get in a creative flow, I just go, and some days I'll sit down and, you know, just be like, God, I can't come up with a new, like sometimes I feel like I can't find a niche to put stuff in today. Like I just can't deal with it, and I'll work on something. Like I have other projects, so, but yeah, I feel like I have enough time to do it, and you know, it's costing me $0 to make my own design, so I'm not going to add like that's a bit. I don't need to add another business expense, so I'm not going to.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I think when you have control over your own stuff, I think that also has like a huge thing with it, because I've thought about that too. Of what if I hire somebody out to like do a lot of like maybe the harder designs that I wouldn't have to spend a lot of time on. But then I kind of wonder about trademark stuff or copyright stuff, or where did they get this design? Or let's say if they were doing the design part,
Yeah.
Same thing with keywords and stuff. If I start automatically or just start things are automated and stuff, I'm like, I don't know if I want to put myself at risk with anything unless it's my own fault.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, hey, Mike, that's pretty much the end of the show, man. Thank you so much for being here, man. We learned a lot. But before we go, just remind us and the listeners your YouTube channel and your Udemy course. Where can we find both of those?
Okay, so my YouTube channel is YouTube/Treasure Gnome, or you can just do a search of the Treasure Gnome. I think I'm confident I'm the only one.
If there's another Treasure Gnome, please let us know.
And over at udemy.com, I just launched the course over there. It's how to research and market t-shirts, merch by Amazon.
Awesome. And how much is the course?
I think let me see. I have a coupon.
I think it's 11 or 14 around there, I think.
Okay, that's not bad.
I have a coupon for anyone who's listening. If they use the coupon holidays, you can get the course for $10.
Oh, you see, now you have to take the course. $10.
Awesome. $10. And you know what? We'll have that in the show notes. Mike, thank you so much for being here. But before we go, also I just want to remind everyone, and Mike, you spread the word as well, because we like you here on Merch Minds. But if you guys enjoy this show, if you guys enjoy what Glenn and I are doing, please, the best thing you can do, and Mike, I know you've done this, and thank you so much. Go to iTunes, leave us a review. It doesn't have to be 5 stars. If you don't like what we're doing, if there's something we can improve on, you have to let us know. Otherwise, we can't improve. So thank you.
Right on. Yeah. Thanks for having me on, guys. It was good chatting with you.
Yeah. Mike, happy Thanksgiving. Glenn, you as well.
All right. Thank you, sir.
Glenn is a newlywed, so tell your wife happy Thanksgiving as well. So,
all right.
And to the listeners. All right, guys. Take care, and we'll see you on the next episode.
Thanks, guys.